Hello, in this episode of the Downshift presented by Lockie, Schwags, Huppy and myself, KT, we prepare for one of the highlights of the race season as we head to Monza, the Temple of Speed, home to Ferrari and the Tifosi, with all eyes on Hamilton to see if he can bring in a win or at least a podium for Ferrari. And the gap for the Drivers' Championship extended to 34 points out of Zandvoort. Will McLaren continue to dominate, or will we see another upset from left field?
So it's lights out.
Drop the clutch.
And let's get racing.
Hello and welcome to the Downshift as we prepare to preview the Monza Grand Prix in Italy, Ferrari's home race. So coming out of Zandvoort, we're seeing a shift from the Orange Army to the Tifosi. So Lockie, how about you take us through a little bit on the track and what to expect from the race?
Absolutely, thank you. Look, Monza is actually the third oldest purpose-built motor racing circuit in the world, built in 1922 after Brooklands and then Indianapolis. It's hosted the Italian Grand Prix almost every year since 1950, except in 1980. And it's currently about 5.79 kilometre Grand Prix layout. Long straights, high-speed corners like Parabolica, Scari Chicane and the Lesmo Bends as well. Drivers are going full throttle for anywhere from about 70% of the lap there. Known for low downforce setups as well. So obviously this is just all speed for this one. Good slipstream battles, overtakes, big breaks into the tight chicanes. Gives them so we should see the brakes light up properly because they get a serious workout on this track as well. Now, this is the one where engine power and top speed that's what shines. They're perfect for dramatic racing, which, Dan, you and I'll be happy. It's nothing like the Monaco one. So we should actually get some good battles, good chases. So you look at it and go, cars go on full throttle for about 80%, and they actually hit their VMAX on the circuits 1.1 kilometre straight as well. And last year, Norris actually averaged 263 kilometres an hour.
Yeah, I think top speed, they'll get 350, 360. It's pretty good.
Should be a good one.
And for those fans who are looking at the F1 website, there is a little bit of an error there where it's actually got Rubens Barrichello holding the fastest lap time for 2004. It's actually held by Lewis Hamilton. It was set in 2020 at 1 minute 18.887. So that was done in the Mercedes. The question is, will he be able to do that in the Ferrari?
Yeah.
You're shaking your head there, Lockie.
Computer says no.
I think I saw somewhere that said that when there was a double DNF in Zandvoort, the next week there was a 1-2 finish for Ferrari. I think some people are hanging their hat on that, or
It's a home track. I would love.
Is that where Huppy's predictions are coming in this week? Oh, here we go.
We'll see.
But an absolutely awesome track. The drivers love it because they are going at full throttle. You're seeing, it's just an exciting race to watch. And the spectacle around the Tifosi, you're seeing red everywhere in the grandstands, the big Ferrari flags, really exciting spectacle for the race. So with that, we're seeing, looking at the championship standing and battles that we should expect. Dan, what are you hoping to see this weekend?
Well, like you said before, we're going to see some interesting racing, and sounds like there should be some overtaking and more interesting stuff. But we're getting now down to, what have we got, 9 races left, and the Drivers' Championship is the Drivers' Championship's pretty much in the bag. Well, not in the bag, sorry, but it's the top 2 are
That's
out
a big
there.
call.
Well, as we get close to the end, there's less room for errors now. You kind of got to, you can't afford to be dropping a whole swag of points right now, and you need to be making sure you're holding on to them. So at the moment, we've got Oscar leading and 309 points, closely followed by his teammate Lando on 275. Max is third at 205, so there's a bit of a step down there. He's got a bit of work to do if he's going to have any chance of getting another Drivers' Championship. Constructors is in the bag. That's pretty much nothing much can happen there, I don't think. So unless beyond total cataclysmic failure, which, gee, wouldn't that be a good graph?
Don't mention a graph, Jesus.
You got Zach smiling like a Cheshire cat.
Yeah, well, yeah. So we've got Ferrari in second at 260 points from McLaren's 584 points, and Mercedes at 248. So, and Red Bull slipping to fourth with 214. So the battle's really intensifying down, second, third, and fourth to see who can do their best there. So was George Mercedes on 184 points, fighting for third, 21 points away from Verstappen. And then Charles in Ferrari's 33 points behind Russell. There's a lot going on there in the drivers.
I think this is where this is really going to get spicy. As you're saying, McLaren's way out in front, but we're seeing this battle for second between Ferrari and Mercedes. When you've got George, who is 21 points away. 21 points away from Max, he's battling for that third place position, and that is achievable. But then that also puts Mercedes right behind Ferrari, and so you're going to see that battle for that second place again. Talking about 10 million odd bucks difference in regards to those two positions, it's something to fight for.
I mean, let's last week was really important for George to come in fourth, even though Kimi dropped out or didn't finish, but then both of Ferrari didn't finish either. So that's give him make him a bit closer.
It's a big race for Ferrari. Like that, they obviously had a shocker at Zandvoort and home track. Ferrari just such an integral part of Formula One. They get their bonus payment every year in the Concord Agreement. Like they would argue that they're nearly as important as Formula One itself. So this is a massive race for them, and they'll be putting everything they can into trying to get a good result.
So there's some key drivers to watch, Huppy, as we look as coming into Monza.
Yeah, I guess. Well, the first one, obviously, there's a lot of pride on the line for Ferrari. So this is a track that historically they've always been pretty competitive at because it is their home race. Their drivers seem to lift. The crowd you see on the telly is just phenomenal. Like there's flares and flags and shouting and screaming every time the cars go past. There's huge cheers. So it's a real spectacle. So obviously we're going to be watching the Ferrari team. Hamilton has been putting himself under a lot of pressure to do well. So I think it's a big one for Lewis. Lewis and Leclerc will be trying to get onto that third step of the podium, I think, behind the McLarens.
Doesn't that he have a penalty coming to this weekend though, which is not going to help?
It's going to make things tough, but it is a track where you can overtake. So if they've got the right car for it and that they can make moves happen. We don't know what the weather is. We'll look at the weather shortly, Lachlan. I'm sure you've got some details there for us. Thank you.
Up to date. We're all good.
All right, good. So yeah, and Lewis has always been strong there, as we talked about. He's got a track record there. He'll be fighting real hard. So I think Lewis and Charles will be ones to watch, especially with Mercedes breathing down their neck for second in the Constructors' Championship.
And we've seen with Ferrari, if they do get that set up right, that car can be very quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't think they nailed it at Zandvoort, and that track didn't really suit them too much. But if there's one track that Ferrari will have pegged on the board when they design their car, it's going to be Monza. So that will be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. But that battle for third place on the podium, I think, will be a tight one this weekend. And then McLaren, obviously, we've got the two drivers way out front in the championship. Piastri's now up to 34-point lead, which is more than a race win. So, Lando, there's more pressure on him not to make a mistake, to really execute, perform, try and get pole position. But pole, not quite as important here as it is in Zandvoort. So it's going to come down to who races the best, who can manage tyres the best and get overtake moves done. So maybe we will see a bit of spice between the McLaren drivers this weekend. Let's wait and see.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Yeah, depending on weather. Weather could really spice things up. But yeah, we're about to look at the weather shortly.
So if we go to our resident weather guru, Lockie, what are we looking at for weather at Monza in Italy?
Yeah, look, I've actually prepared. You can see the graphic here. I've actually prepared for you, and I've had a really good look at the weather for the weekend. The good news is no rain. So it's going to be between 26 and 28 degrees, sunshine, blue skies. You might get a sprinkling of cloud on the Sunday, but otherwise we've got a dry race, boys. So it'll be all stops out. Let's go.
So that'll be interesting in regards to the temperature for the Mercedes. The Mercedes traditionally doesn't do well in warmer conditions.
Yep, top that with their the excess braking they have to do as well, and they might come a cropper on this one.
Yeah, I think Ferrari sees this as a chance to get some points back on Mercedes this round for sure.
Alrighty, so with that gives us the perfect opportunity to go into our predictions and what to expect for Monza. Will Oscar Piastri continue to extend his leadership gap? Is Ferrari ready to provide a bit of an upset that takes advantage of their home crowd? As we jump in, we've got our podium contenders with Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Verstappen. He could sneak in with the Red Bull. So who'd like to kick us off with their predictions for this weekend?
Well, I think, Christian, today we should go from our top leaderboard down to the bottom. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, let's keep it fair and simple. Let's just do it that way. And we'll go from there this weekend.
Okay.
So Huffy, as the championship leader.
Yeah, look, I've got a decent lead in the championship within our group, so I better not stuff up.
Clarify, it's 2 whole points, right? Like,
I better not stuff up.
Decent lead is 2 whole points.
Sounds like
that's 3 points. It's 3 points. Okay, so yeah, I've done a lot of analysis on this one. There's a few things to take into account. Namely, it's Ferrari's home race, and Charles and Lewis will be really trying hard to make it to third place on the podium. So I've picked Oscar for pole and Oscar for the win. I've picked Lando for second because I think Oscar now has the wood over Lando. And I just mentioned it's a big race for Ferrari. So I'm going to pick Verstappen for third. I don't think Ferrari are going to get there.
So just to clarify, all your research and you've come up with the same trend you had last week. Is that right?
Well, look, last week was a bit more difficult because I thought it was pretty even between Oscar and Lando, but I think Oscar's starting to edge ahead. So I think he's the clear choice for pole and the win.
So
and I think Max is going to be better than. It doesn't matter how many red flags and orange flares there are in the grandstands and pasta being thrown around. Max is going to get third in this race.
You heard it first. There we go.
I don't think Ferrari will have the ultimate pace. I think Max, as a driver, is still going to get enough out of that Red Bull.
Okay. Well, to your point, and this was a real head scratcher for me, not from the top end of the field, but definitely for third place. We are seeing that fight between Ferrari and Mercedes, and there's a real toss-up for me in that regard. So for me, I've got Oscar for pole. I've got Oscar for the win. I've got Lando for second. So unfortunately, we could be exactly the same here, Happy. But it was a toss-up for me between Charles and George. Given our weatherman's predictions here, I just don't think the Mercedes is going to be able to cut it at Monza. And given needing to get some pride back for the Tifosi, I'm putting Charles into third place.
Leclerc, right.
So over to our resident weather guru.
This is going to sound like it's just on repeat here for what we're doing. But I'm going to change it up. I am going to go to Lando for pole, though. I think they're going to have a little bit of a battle here, and I think he's going to come out and just try and edge him out on that one. And then basically you can just put Christian's tips in for my theory because that's what I had sort of worked out when I sat down.
Oscar, Lando, Charles.
Oscar, Lando, Charles. Okay.
Yeah, I just think Hamilton's just not quite. Head's not quite right there. I just don't think he's going to actually pull it all together on the day. Luckily, he might come fourth or something like that, but I just can't see him getting third spot.
And Oscar to overtake Lando.
Yes. Yeah, I can see that during the race.
That would be good to watch.
That would be good.
Does Oscar know how to do that? I think he hasn't had to do it for a while, has he?
Lando's still quick and dangerous if he's in the lead, so that'll be tough, but yeah, it'd be good to see.
I think if you look at Oscar, though, I mean, he's going to be a lot more tempered in regards to his approach to that. Lando is a bit more emotional and probably a little bit riskier in regards to his moves. We saw that in Canada, whereas Oscar, we've seen him do some really good aggressive tacking through the corners. Yeah.
Look, they might have a massive stack at the start. We could end up with George Russell and Hulkenberg and Alonso. Like, who knows? Like, it could be all good.
Another rookie in the top three.
There we are.
No, I was talking about Alonso.
I knew exactly.
That's rookie. Sure.
He'll go places, that boy.
He is. He's doing all right for a young fella. All right, Schwags, time for the magic hat.
You have to wake me up because I'm just falling asleep listening to you guys prattle on your tips from week in, week out. You're just cutting and pasting. Oscar, it's Lando, Max.
Are you adding names back into the hat this week, or how are we going?
Well, look, how full is the hat?
Isaac was taken out of the hat last week, and you wouldn't have picked that. But no, he's not going back in the hat.
Well, you could have pulled him out.
That's why you didn't get the tip right, Dan, because you didn't have him in the hat.
Well,
you could have pulled him out.
Hey, look, I was happy with 2 points, so beggars can't be choosers, So Isaac's still staying out of the hat. Alex is out of the hat, and Esteban Ocon's out of the hat. And so now we've got some interesting results coming through. What's going to happen? So we're going to start with pole position. Ooh, okay, I got Lando Norris for pole.
All right.
I can't see my camera.
That's a safe call, Dan. Good call. Yeah.
That's a pretty safe call. And I'm not cheating. It's up here somewhere. Even if I did cheat, I still couldn't get it right, so it doesn't matter. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'll go reverse the order. I should have. This is George Russell
for the win.
First, which isn't going to happen. My God, if it does happen, I'm going to get some good points, I tell you.
They could crash out, Dan. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't like the chance of that. Anyway, that's right. It's all a bit of fun. Lando for second.
They could get a couple of points. Yep.
Well, I might get something out like everyone else.
We're all going to get the same points.
Yeah, we're all going to
If
get
he
the
got
same
second.
points. Bloody hell. Yeah, would have hoped for something different. So,
Yeah, but 2 points is 2 points, Dan. You take it either way.
And third place is going to be Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Again.
Oh.
Wouldn't be disappointed if that happens, but I don't think it's going to happen.
But it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
There you go. It wasn't a cut and paste from last week like everyone else.
It'd be more of a challenge if we didn't have 2 McLarens leading every race, basically.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
Just that pure dominance.
Did you get
Well,
that
it doesn't
feeling
always
that,
work
like,
because they had a DNF. So you can say they dominated every single time, but they didn't finish both of them, did they?
That's true. That's true.
we're getting that more sort of feeling now that Lando's having that feeling, that trophy just slipping out of his hands ever so slightly?
Yeah. I mean, he can't afford to make any mistakes. So I think every single small mistake that he makes for the next 9 races is just going to be extra pressure piling up on him. So, Oscar's in a good place from that point of view.
So with those groundbreaking predictions, again, we're returning to Ferrari's home with the Tifosi in full voice as they cheer Lewis and Charles around the Temple of Speed.
5th and 6th.
Well, and don't forget, Lewis is even further back because he's got his grid penalties.
Yeah, that's right. If he can get up there, yeah.
So with that, make sure that you like and subscribe so you never miss a lap from the Downshift. We will do a review of the Monza Grand Prix next week, and then we've got a break before going into the next race. So we'll see you on the next lap. That's the checkered flag for this episode of the Downshift. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us in the paddock. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a lap. And hey, if we've earned it, drop us a 5-star review. It really helps us climb the grid and reach more motorsport fans. Until next time, keep it fast, keep it fun, and we'll catch you on the next lap.